Jilo Wanatonadol Toniel DJ Dingarang Jagdalo Diana Papin. Adina Majaga Jideng Makwaga Oton Parat Ye Madhuni Gaya Pudimit Pandania Aye Tony Tuol Putunga Tony Adina Majak Anyar Kubuan by Egypt Sukula Yikapi Najong Chigo Mami Paye Aye Pingi Adina Majaga Jideng Makwaga Oton Parat Madhuni Gaya Pudimit Pandania Aye Tony Tuol Putunga Tony Madina Majak Anyar Kubuan by Egypt Sukula Yikapi Najong Chigo Mami Paye Aye Pingi Adina Majaga Jideng Makwaga Oton Parat Madhuni Gaya Pudimit Pandania Aye Tony Tuol Putunga Tony Madina Majak Anyar Kubuan by Egypt Sukula Yikapi Najong Chigo Mami Paye Aye Pingi Patangabala Kubila Pingaban Pindia Dem Paniri Juno Ayora Magot Madina Majak Mati Tina Toputia Tinjiwa Ayora Jima Mana Jula Jula Inayo Ajibia Binye Pingo Jagalo Ayi Pingo An Bayanina Gajalia Togupani Chenya Undida Yua Ayana Tidia Dinjangate Dinyano Kunidimo Adolo Maku Ini
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Lakes Media and South Sudan Media. My name is Abraham Madit Majak, one of the hosts. Thank you for joining me this evening. Before I go to my topic this evenings, let me send. It's been a while. I've been away from the media. I have not been doing a talk show. At Madit Talk Show because I have a death in my family. I lost one of my greatest uncle, James Deng Sholang. He passed away on the 24th last week in Juba. So family are so sad and heartbreaking to lose one of my uncle. He's my real uncle. My dad's called Majang Sholangok, and his name is called James Deng Sholangok. Some of you who were in Khartoum and Elevate, some of you know him, who is Deng Sholangok. He's one of the kind-hearted person. During his time on this earth, he did a lot of stuff. So during those South Sudanese who were staying in Northern Sudan at the time, is one of the person. He worked with one of the NGOs and churches at the time in Elevate. So he worked hard to save life to innocent children, those South Sudanese who had been taken to the slavery during the Arab ruling in Sudan. He saved a lot of children from those slaveries because they wanted the time that the children would be taken to do the labor work in Elevate area. So during his work, he can go work very hard to find where the children is and get them out from that area and took it to Northern Barkazal and handing over to General Paul Malonga at the time. So he is one of the persons he's been working for that field those years. He was captured by the Arab soldiers and he arrested. He spent many years in Khartoum behind bar because of that. So God saved his life. He was not killed by that time, but he was He worked hard. Those of you who know James Deng Shoal, he's a blessing. He helped South Sudanese during those days of suffering of South Sudanese at the hand of Jalaba. I know. We lost our family lost a great person. It was not his time, but when God called you home, nothing we can do, right? So we are heartbreaking. So to lose him. But nothing we can do. We do our best, but when time comes, we cannot stop. So it is I know he's one of the person. He's a quiet person. He don't show up like the rest of South Sudanese who were in Khartoum, who in Sudan. So he's not. He just quiet when he returned to South Sudan. So he was stay home, working, praising, looking after our family. So and the government of South Sudan is not even General Paul Malunga know him very well, who's James Deng Cholang is, but. And you guys know, during the time that General Paul Malong was he stayed in northern Barakazal, so he worked hand in hand at the time with General Paul Malong, and General Paul Malong know him very well. So he connect General Paul Malong with the NGOs and churches that were working with the children at that area of the northern Barakazal, and take those children that were being smuggled to Arab area. So he worked to stop that, bring those. So that's where he was working. The government of South Sudan don't see those people who are working very kindly. But other than that, as the family, we're proud of his work, what he did. We his, and we wish him. I hope he's in the right place in heaven. So thank you, Uncle Deng. Sure, you did your part. We will pick up where you left off. Thank you. So anyway, let's go back to our packed topic this evening. So we have a breaking news in South Sudan, as we all know, regarding about the fire breakout in Juba last night. So let me start. Let me pull up our topic. Let's see. Have we all know? Last night at the busy market so let me welcome everybody. So it's open. Let's open our show right now. So welcome. Good evening and good night and good morning, everyone. So all the viewers, welcome to another editions to Today's Media Talk Show with Madit Majak. Tonight we turn our attention to tragedy that has once again shaken our nation, South Sudan. Devastated the fire outbreak last night at Nyakuron custom markets there in Juba. So hundreds of traders lost their shops, goods, and lifetime investment within hours. So family and the young entrepreneurs and small-scale business owners are now finding themselves started with from when they start their business, now from zero, from nothing. They don't have nothing, everything's destroyed last night. This is not the first time such a fire occur and yet in the lesson from the incident remain unparliamented. So this is not the second, this is not the first. This fire outbreak is every time it's happening in Juba. And at the area like that. So, and people are losing a lot of life. People are losing their good businesses. So the question right now, why do our market continue to ban? This is the question I'm asking. Why do the South Sudan market continue to ban? Where does disasters, where are the fire response system? So do South Sudan have firefighters? Do they have any emergency need, like when disaster like that happen? What are they? Do South Sudan have those? What is the government doing to prevent such a disaster? So this is a question I'm asking. What do South Sudan government can do to stop this disaster to happen again, because it keeps repeating and repeating itself. And people are losing their life, people are losing their good, people are losing their businesses. Okay. So, uh, and what must traders and the city council, like Juba City Council, and the national authority do to move forward to stop something like this happen? So this is where our talk based on tonight. We deep into the aftermath and more important things the way forward. So I have some video. I have like there are one of the journalists who went live last night covered the event. So I will play his video clip and also the report from South Sudan Broadcast TV. So he got a clip there. I will play that. So that's one of the things that we will focus on. So the key discussion on this evening is I'm not going to talk randomly, so I just want to talk point by point about the key speakers, key point. But before I go that, President Salva Kiir he put out the press statement about this incident happening in Juba. Today, let me read out and I put on the screen like that. The statement on the Nyakuron custom area fire. At the top. I received this is the president I'm reading, and I have in the screen there. So here is the president press release. Republic of South Sudan, the president. So I received with a deep sorrow and regret the news of the devastating fire that destroyed the shop in Nyakuron custom area last night around 6 p.m. in December 1st, 2025. As you can see, the fire started at 6 o'clock. But there were nobody, no authority, no fire, no emergency went on the scene. And there's a video that I will play from one of the journalists from South Sudan media, one of the journalists, and I heard that he was arrested. He went live, and he will speak that on his live video. So, and we all heard that. Boy, that chilling. Okay, so he's calling out, and he was arrested. So I will play that video later on. And let's see, the fire break out at 6 p.m., right? And the fire go on, nobody. Okay. So nobody come to stop the fire. Firefighter units come on the scene. This tragedy event has resulted in massive destruction of property and inflict a painful blow on the lives of countless families and hardworking entrepreneurs who lost their livelihood in a single evening. In a single evening. This is the president talking here, not me. Okay. This business, men and women, lost their shop, they lost their good, and also lost their money. Because as you all know, the businesses in South Sudan, they don't keep their money at the bank. They keep the money at the house or in their store at the shop. Okay. When that fire happened last night, millions of dollars has been lost. And you have seen how people are reacting, how people are crying, those people who lost their good and their money and their property. So he said that the Nyakuron custom area is an economy center of our capital, and its disruption impact our entire nation. True, because Nyakuron custom is one of the busy. I went there. I see that market. It is a busy market. So if this something happened like that, in that, can you imagine what happened in that area? How many million of dollars have been lost? So on the behalf, here is the president is talking, on the behalf of the government, the people of South Sudan extended my sincere, heartfelt sympathy to all the traders, shop owners, and families affected by the disaster, by these disasters. So we share in your grief and stand with you during this difficult time. Okay. So as you all know, Honorable Adut, she visited the scene this morning And she cannot understand. She can hold the tear and her emotion. You can even tell her in the picture how she broke down. She broke down. How the losses she saw, she broke down in tear. Okay, that's how you can tell that this disaster is really a tragedy. It is a real sad thing, and you have seen how her emotion is in the picture. Okay. Now the question is, what will the government, the president, do? That's the question. Move forward. I am assuring the people of South Sudan and the resident of Juba that the government will investigating this matter and implementing the necessary precaution to prevent further tragedy. Well, this is not the first time, President. Okay, it happened every yearly. Okay, so it's happened every yearly, and you have nothing, and the government have nothing to stop it. So what happened? This tragedy happened in Nyakuron market. What the root cause of this fire? Is it a man-made? Is it a man-made? Is it incident? Is it a fire line? A fire line like electricity line? Okay. So what is the cause of it? So, and how can you stop prevent this? So the country, if you can see firefighters. So if that incident happened like this in South Sudan, therefore there's no system have been set to handle this kind of stuff. Like in other country, when you go to other country, you will see some of the area that they have emergency setup. They have a well-trained firefighter that can deal with this kind of crisis. When I see, like, let me see, there's a picture here I want to show you. This picture right here. See this picture. This is a firefighter. South Sudan firefighter, for God crying out. You can see in the picture, if these people individually are trained, are they well trained? Look at them. These are the South Sudan firefighter. Let me show you the well trained in other country firefighter, how they dress. Even they don't even have, if you can see in this picture, these people, they don't even have the safe gear to fight a fire. There's no ambulance. There's no anything. There's no any safe caution for themselves. Look at them. Let me show you another picture that other trained firefighter in other country, how they look when there is crisis happen. Look at that picture. Did you see this picture? This is how the country that know exactly what they can do when there is a disaster happen. Okay, you have seen well-trained firefighters, how they dress. Okay, and how do they fight the fire? Okay, you have seen the vehicle fire truck right there. Do South Sudan have those kind of vehicle in the country in place? When there's a fire like this break out, how do they respond in the scene? Do they have that equipment to fight the fire? Do they have it? No, you see that? How do they? You see, I'm just playing this picture in your head, in your brain, and I show this. I'm calling out the government of South Sudan to watch this video tonight. Okay, so the government have to invest for everything. If there's something happen, because disaster can happen anytime. Okay, it can happen. Okay, but you have to have a system in place. Whenever something happens, whether it's a flooding, because South Sudan is always every year is flooding. What are the responders? If there's a flood happen in that affected area, where are the systems that can help those people who are living that area? They can evacuate in the area, make sure that there is a rescue committee system in place, and there is shelter, there is medicine, there is everything there. Same thing in fire. If there is fire happen like this, so where are they? Where is the rescue system. Where are they? I listened to Honorable Attorney Wegata last night when he was interviewed in South Sudan TV. Okay, he said that the firefighter came to the scene like 30 minutes late. Okay, like in our country where we live in America, whenever there's something happen, is a fire break out in any place in the building, and anywhere, 911 will be called immediately. 911 will not last. It will not less than 2-3 minutes. Come in the scene. Okay. Even a busy place, they will put the emergency alarm, and they will speeding up. All the vehicle on the road, anything on the road have to stop so that they can pass through to go to the scene where that incident happened. So the question I'm asking the government of South Sudan this evening, do the government, local government, Central Equatoria, do you guys have any staff? Do you guys have equipment? Do you guys have a system? Do you guys having a well-trained firefighters? When there's something happen, they will respond and rescue people. If there's no, because as I see, if you can see the picture, Yajrubin, the picture, the burning picture, everything is burned down to ash. Okay. If there is a system that has been put in place, okay, the firefighter should serve some of the businesses. The country is like the country city, the city Juba, one of the capital city in South Sudan, is something that happened in capital city. What will be like in other time state if something like that happen? It is a very, when see the video, let me play the video last night from South Sudan broadcast. So they were one on the scene and they interviewed some of the survivors. They lost their. Let me play that video.
Saya Jacqueline Lamar, aja kena pini ala ragu ini basala, ini makamini aja dekula ragu malu. Ini lakukan kira derkan bunna musaida sana. Taban siddi kulin kader musaida sin bisaida musaida. Asan kira dia mati gal mapa le kana sin kira ba. Ander siap. Ale kira sin bisaida bena sin nas bar, kitu nas bar. Ander munaza kan siap kira dia bar sai. Matan kira ya Arab kul bajet وقروش جوارة كلهم أنا دير ناس كرمون سايرو ناس برا ده كرمون حاول كرمون سايرو إننا بأجت بناس لنا أجت لنا رجع سايرو كرمون حاول كرمون سايرو في حاجة أصير لنا ده كرمون من support.
Okay, so have you guys can see it? It is a really sad thing to see. So this is the point that I have tonight for South Sudan government. Okay. This is the question that I have tonight. The timeline have President release just mentioned in his press release. He said the fire break out at 6 p.m., right? The timeline of the fire outbreaks, how the fire spread, and why the response was so slow. These are hearing from the eyewitness, and you are listening to them. Okay. What are, let me see here. Yeah, Jamal, let me see here. Majuk, I send you the link, so share it on your WhatsApp. Let me see here if I can. So, okay, these are the things. But you let me know if you see that. So I send you a link in your WhatsApp, and also I'm sending in your messenger. And also I'm seeing us. Well, more Anyara, are you in the room? You can come in. Yeah, let me bring you up in the clubhouse. Yeah. So sorry guys, I'm still I'm controlling still, and there are some people coming up. Let me. Okay. So these are the things that I'm just want to point out. There. Let me see. He's okay. Good. So here are the okay. So those are the things. What happened in Ukraine, custom market. So the timeline, how the fire is spread, and the responding, and also too. Let me see. I'm trying to hook up this one so that I can hear you clubhouse well more again, because I didn't connect the microphone on the this so that they can hear you later on. So what happened? Before I go there, let me bring in. Okay, I will. Hang on, bear with me for a second. Let me play this video for a second so that I can.
Cuando naga kapone kapone kena ye no kan naga li kapone kena kena agazola
So assessment need to be all of that. Sorry, I was mute myself in the system. Okay, so estimate the losses, social and economic impact. This is what will be this fire will hurt a lot of people in South Sudan. Okay. The lack of fire. So here are the things. So if there is any fire, because I know some of you would say that you are talking like you are live in America, but caution, safety procedures is very important. So if there are well-trained firefighters in South Sudan, so they should have the fire extinguisher that can be sprayed around when there is fire. You can spray that, shoot, aim and shoot, and then you can put off the fire where that, and then that fire will went off. You will you will destroy, you put off that fire, and it will not spread around the other building. But you also don't have those equipment. Okay. The safety, if there is what if, okay, what I'm seeing said that there would electricity cause this fire. If it is electricity, why there is no any safety, like to the company, the electricity company, why they didn't put the safety caution in that area? Those are there. So accountability and system failure. This is where I'm going in. What out there will be accountability for the role, and what the role of a local government, Juba City Maya. What is going on there? Okay. What are they doing? Because city, Juba City now is a city, is a capital city, and also is a city. So anyway, I'm not going to call a lot of here. So let me give this chance very quick before, and then I have some of the later on. So let me give this chance to Walmoranya to put in on his practice. So Walmoranya, welcome to the show. It's been a while. I've been away from the media for a while because of the death in my family. And then today, I just see this is the because when we see something tragedy happen in our country, we'll come and talk about it. So this is the heartbreaking what happened in Juba last night. Many businesses lost their good, their money, their business. So this will be it's not just the loss, but this is a life, because we all know that South Sudan independent, people are going buying some good in that area. Now all of those are gone. What life will be like, because many people of South Sudan, they don't do agriculture no more. Everybody moved to Juba, and people depend buying food at the market. So welcome, Moranya.
Yes, thank you, Brother Madit. I hope you can hear me clearly in your
Yeah,
studio there.
we can hear you.
Okay, monitor my audio there. You know, it's in our country, Brother Madit, and what is even more upsetting is the way we don't seem to learn a lesson from things that happen to us in life. In our country, the internal record shows that even once upon a time, the office of the ruling party, SPLM, was gutted by fire, right?
Right.
And I'm sure this is not the first time the fire gutted custom. It had happened before. It had happened in in Konyo Konyo. It also even happened somewhere in northern Barakazal. It happened in Bor, and no lesson seemed to have been learned. Ministry of Interior doesn't seem to learn a lesson. Have not learned it when the office of the SPLM caught fire. Have not learned a lesson when other markets are caught in fire. Make me wonder, what is the meaning of leadership? What does it mean to lead? Or is the Ministry of Interior expecting President here to be the president and a Minister of Interior and a firefighter at the same time? Can one man do it all? Cannot. Ministry of Interior through the Department of Firefighters, they're supposed to have they're supposed to have their own codes, fire codes, things that are acceptable and things that are not acceptable. And every building should be built according to the way the fire department approved it. But that doesn't seem to be the case in our country. When I went into our country in 2012, and I took a time to tour the Juba city, I spent a time in Kwanya Kwanya. And the first thing I saw was what a fire hazard there was. And I asked question, I said, what if the fire break out here? How would people even run away? Let alone how the fire can be extinguished. That's not what I was concerned, but how can people escape? The shops are narrowed. There is no passage in between the shops. The market is poorly designed. Material used to construct what they call the shops are flammable. And there is no shop that has a single fire extinguisher in it. I scratched my head and I said, God forbid, what if the fire break out here? What would happen here? I observed mistakes, but who would hear me? It had happened in custom, no lesson learned, no plan, no leader came in and said, what happened should not happen again. If we have leaders in our country who said what happened bad should not happen again, custom market would have not been in fire yesterday because it would have been prevented. Because we saw the fires breaking out before. And so if we have leaders who learn from that, what happened yesterday in custom could have been prevented. Unfortunately, we have leaders who don't give a damn about us, the people, don't give a damn about our country. They even lie to God because they go and take the oath of the office and say, we will uphold the rule of law in this nation. But after they're done swearing in, they get the big fat check, don't give a damn about the people of South Sudan. That's why the same mistake continue to happen again. Yeah, that's why. Because it's the same fire that happened before in the same market. It happened in Konya Konya. It happened in Bor and all the other places. It even burned the office of the SPLM. Ministry of Interior. After all of this incident, Amals, what have the Ministry of Interior done? Nothing. And what is so awkward about this is that the leadership of the Ministry of Interior now is given to the IO, right? A political opposition that made itself the better alternative to the people of South Sudan. Yanaz IO. That fire that consumed custom market, it was supposed to be taken care of by the firefighters, and the firefighters brigade are part of Ministry of Interior, in which Angelina Ting is the minister of. Where is your leadership? Let's say that everything has been blamed on the SPLM this, SPLM that, but this ministry is under Angelina Ting. Where is the leadership here? How better are you now than the SPLM? This is your ministry. Where is the leadership here? What is the plan? Why you don't seem to learn lesson, Madam Angelina? Why? I thought you were opposition. That means you're better than the government you're opposing. You're better than the party, Paul SPLM, that you're opposing. Where is the leadership here to the people of South Sudan? Yeah, Nazayo and Cortez, where are you guys at? You guys can come up here. Come and tell us, convince us. I thought you guys were better than SPLM. Why is this ministry failing us? Big mistake, Comrade Madit. We have been betrayed. Now, what about the Juba City Council? Because after all, it is Juba City Council that kept collecting taxes from this market here. Now, Juba City Council, Bardo, had a role to play in this. They have a role to play in this. Because it is from this market that the city council makes money. This market here that you are a council. And let's say that the minister is on that. But you, as a city council, benefit from this market. You were supposed to be the advocate. You're supposed to be the advocate putting pressure on the Minister of Interior, Egypt Benade Mutafi, Egypt firefighting truck, and force the firefighting department or fire brigade to bring in the code. But apparently, neither the Minister of Interior gives a damn or the Juba City Council give a damn about our people of South Sudan. They only gave too much damn about the money that they collect from our people. That's what Juba City Council cares about. For this reason here, Juba City Council is betraying us. It's not helping our people. It's not helping our nation. It's not helping our city. Either this Juba City Council has to be restructured again to have representatives from all the 10 states and 3 administrative areas. You couldn't use them in city council day in the state, or being only made from one state, Central Equatoria, while we all pay taxes to finance it, and we don't have representation in that city council. That is not fair. Either this is done, or simply, what we are going to do, we're going to have to advocate for conducting referendum. Aywa, referendum, you couldn't do city council Hagumbaram. Eladinga, you couldn't do city council Hagubaram. Budeli, you couldn't do city council Hagubaram. Shirkat, you couldn't do city council Hagubaram. Yes, let those people manage their own affairs. Because Mamumkin, millions of people, almost 3 million people, to have only one city council. That city council cannot deliver the services effectively. In my opinion, we need more than that. Instead of having one city council that we all rely on, if that city council fails, our nation goes down. It is better for us to have some plan B all the way to Z. For example, Nazal Gadin Piluri, Awal Gati, Al Sakan Pi Jabal Dinka. Juba City Council, they back there, Amulam, too far away from them, too remote. So all of those places should be given their own city council. They should. And in a not too far away distance, another Yamul referendum with them. Ana Lokunda Pijuba, Ana Yamul Lakbade, Banamul petition. Wherever I live, we need to have our own city council in it. Where we pay our own taxes, we put in a local leadership that can feel our pain, not a leadership that is so distant somewhere there in Juba. you know. Those places, Nas Jebel Kujur, yes, Jebel Kujur, they're supposed to have their own city council, Nazmiya Usaba, because the Mujhela, le kunti hela bekunta idara btad hela tani. Why? Kalam de beji min wen. Ya to Medina bekunta the idara Medina tani. Why does it? Are we not developing Jebel Dinka, Jebel Kunjur, Atalabara, Rajab? Are they not Mahmudun Baram? Le kunti Medina bekunta idara btad Medina tani. What sense does it make logically? It doesn't make any sense. Why shan kida hasire? Juba City Council bigger badala alena because they see Junubin mind the alternative. Mind in a khiyar gir Juba City Council. Ashan kida nas shakalin modafinu shakalin fi Juba City Council kan fizol min Juba ita gatas masoda se fi Juba tomorrow kada amshi murjam be Juba City Council nak. Shub al officials shakalin fi council nak. Look at their bodies. Look even the way they walk. Then one nasal belbizo shakal bejibu almost into the middle. Yani shabanin and even the way they walk different. Yani they walk like, you know, the nas is smart. And you know the way you see somebody that have outsmarted people. That's the way they behave. I go there, I observe their body language. And they handle themselves in a way that they think they are the one who know what they are doing. That's the way they handle themselves. After all, but then look at Juba. Al Shawarif, the Juba, the road that we have in Juba, it is the national government that made them. Matar Juba is the national government that made it. Juba Teaching Hospital, national government that makes it. Karaba, national government that makes it. Everything that you see in Juba is made by the national government. Question is, Juba City Council, they got a shield Gurujman Junobin to go and do what? Where do our money go? وبعدين حتى البسيط شغل البسيط خدمة البسيط للمواطن اللي هو نظافة المدينة. The city is so dirty. And the pollution is happening. El Cristal is poisoning the Nile. Juba City Council ma قادر ينظف مدينة. تاب انت جنوب القتسمة صوتي قروشك ده كان يشيل منك for what exactly؟ لأنه حكومة القادر يشيل تقريبا ده ما يهو يعمل شارع. National government did it. ما يعمل مستشفى. National government did it. ما يهو قادر يجيب police. National government have done it. ما يعمل مدار. National government have done it. ما يعمل مدارس. National government have done it. يبقى حكومة اسمه Juba City Council قاعد يشيل قروش عشان يعمل بو شنو؟ ده الناس سمارت. خلوا خدمات توفير الخدمات خلوا للناشونال government. وهم بيشيلوا قروش جنوبين and they distribute among themselves. That's why they work looking very smart. وفعلا شطار. أنا بيجمع قروشنا مقابل لا خدمة. They don't. They take our money. They don't deliver any service. Juba doesn't have running water. Like over here, you come and see as Marada blaming SPLM, SPLM Majibu Moya, SPLM Amulashara. See political party became Moya. See political party Yomwa Bamul Masura. The city council. City council. Ya Bamul Moasir. Mafi political party Bamul Masura. Mafi political party begin qualifying leadership al Bukunin policies tamam that get executed as an yakhdimabo al muatin. Lakin responsibility of having running waters inside Juba, them have that political party. Lakin taban, what has happened in our country is that yan fidak taban. Everything therein you could do on the neck of the SPLM. Blame the SPLM, loot the country. Ufusula kulu, put it on the ruling party. Mainu doesn't make any sense. Ya Madidana winter, ya gadin to America. When was the last time the Republican Party bring you water?
No.
And when you get a water bill, got the address of the water bill, Maktub Republican Party, address it got United, your bill payment, got the political party, the political party, Bengal Moya Lena, the city council, Yabiamul Kalamde. It's been almost 20 years now. And a lot and millions of dollars have been collected from the people of South Sudan by the Juba City Council. Moya Wenu. Daban, we are citizens who don't know our rights. And we don't know the right people to hold accountable. Get the Gasuna, the SPLM. And then we just come running like dogs, like wild dogs. And the dog would run after the dog, the animal. That's how we have become. We run after SPLM. When we go and even look and even ask ourselves, hell SPLM into mandate, you keep running water? Maybe. Only SPLM have a mandate to bring us good leaders, qualifying leaders. These good leaders, then we have a contract with Sudan, can base him Okuma Dola, our base him Juba City Council. Kalas Udut, Chocolate SPLM in Jalakede. But now we still want to go and blame the SPLM, but we're not blaming Zola Al-Amal Im Dade. Alamal contract mana de the Kolnafi Juba City Council, our the Kolnafi Hukuma Budana de. We're not asking them. We still just want to go and blame the SPLM. It is not in the job description of the SPLM to run water or to provide water. Lana, at the end of the day, when you pay your water bill, will you send it to the address of the SPLM? No. You will have to send it to the water company, which most likely is probably owned by who? By the city council. I saw some Junubin getting into TikTok and blaming SPLM. Can SPLM Yamul, the political party become firefighter? You ever seen a country where a political party become firefighter? Political party provide leaders. Leaders, if they go and fail there, then it is the failure of that institution. And it doesn't matter which political party you come from. So long as the laws and the regulation at that particular institution are not being enforced, so long as al-muwatin ma bi'aribunu al-institution there, ya become masul bi khidma hasi, and then but you continue to go and blame the political party.
Let me know if you are
this is where we create a situation where we are getting cheated. Whatever the case, very unfortunate. And I send the finger of blame to the Minister of the Interior and to the Juba City Council. These two institutions are responsible for that inferno that consumed custom yesterday. Now, what have that done now in our country? That fire there. Finas Nasatishwich, the group of vandalism, the group of sabotage, the saboteur. Upon realizing that once you start a fire in our country, it can go on, it can burn until it have nothing else to burn. And the government is nowhere to respond. There is a very dangerous conspiracy being done now. There is a conspiracy, Danya Mulasi. And the conspiracy is to start Madar Juba Day. There is no sabotage. They want to burn it. They want to burn Madar Juba. They want to set it on fire. Because they have realized that government doesn't respond quickly. There is also a plan to burn Juba bridges. In our country, we have only two bridges that cross the Nile. We have the Juba Bridge and the Freedom Bridge. There is a plan to drive fuel tankers. They're in a Soko, Lakad Mal Kubra in Abde. Yala, they will release the fuel, a driver, Yensil, who fizzles at Border Mashimao, who results at Border Day, Swag Berkafis at Border Day, Yala Baharigo, Tanker Day, Dermi Harigo above the bridge. You can imagine what that can do to the bridge. That is another conspiracy is being done now. After realizing that Hukuma Maga the root Nazal Darim Yapsulu Dole, people who want to fail this nation, that is exactly what they are planning right now. I have talked to some names that I know in the government, but will they make a move? I don't. I break this open here for all of you Genovese in the room here, in case you have any of your uncle. Take this word of mine and pass it on. After all, Kabari de Loharagum. That's it. That's it. How are you going to move from the east side of the city to the west side of the city? How are you going to bring merchandise from Numali to Juba, to Juba, you know? And remember, it takes a long time to build the bridge. So, if you have relatives in Juba and the security of your people matters to you, take this word of mine and pass it on. The evil are planning to do exactly that after realizing that, you know, when anything catches fire in our country, the government is nowhere to be seen. It has now become a point of vulnerability to our nation. People who want to sabotage our nation, people who want to shut us down completely. That's exactly what they're planning now. I have spoken. I hope I will not be a prophet. I hope I will not come to a room like this to discuss what happened to Kuburi Juba. Madit, I hope it will not happen. I hope somebody with a piece of brain and has the power in our country will not take my words as a joke. I hope somebody will act like a real military man, because the fundamental principles, fundamentals of our military training, whenever you have a security intelligence, you take it through until you prove it false. And you just ignore it. You take it through until you prove it false. Even if you prove it false, put in the contingency plan, just in case it becomes true again. What do you do? The kalam tadas kiriya. Lakin get within of the dollar de biga maga di fakaro. Besa ma kalam intelligent, kalam dangerous le dollar, but they just simply ignore it. One in the experience of actually providing intelligent and critical information to some of our leaders as of 2016, and I was ignored. Opinaya energy shooter nas kubar rujal gani homuta terbesa dodging the bullets. And I talked to some names that I would not mention here because I don't want to belittle them. That conspiracy, I knew about it, and I told some big names in our government. Then they thought I was somebody looking for attention. I don't give a damn about your attention, but I give too much damn about my innocent people. And you put yourself there to sit over us, and you make yourself a leader, but you're foolish. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Here we are in December. Custom went up in fame. The Christmas season. What our family is going to do now? Marra, Alkan got Tamil Shai, Jam Custom. Alkan got Tamil cleaning. You know how much life has been affected? All of it because of the leaderless in our country. Very bad. Our leaders are pushing us hard. Thank you, Madit. I'll stop here.
Thank you so much, Walmoranya. Really is a sad and heartbreaking to see our government system is failing their citizens. And and people are suffering even day by days. And those people who are dependent on those shop that they're selling their good for to help to support their family, whatever they will go through. So, has President Majok, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. You are next. President just issued a statement. I'm not going to read all. Here is the last program, and also later on, one more and you waiting after Majok finish speak. Here is what he said, Majok Makur. He said that he said that I am sure, and I'm reading the line. He said that while we are mourning the losses, we must also focus on recovering and prevention. I have issued an immediately directive to all relevant security and government agencies to do this. Number one, to launch a swap and thorough investigation to determine the access and cause of this fire. Number two, to provide all necessary support to assist the affected traders, with the businessmen and women. And number three, review and reinforce fire safety protocol in Juba and across the country. That is what the president said today, one more and the rest of you who are listening in. But you can take over from there.
Thank you so much, Abraham Madit. First of all, permit me to appreciate you for creating time to come and discuss this incident, the tragic incident that happened yesterday in Custom Market in Juba. Secondly, I appreciate those who are in Clubhouse, and I say hi to my brother Walmar Anyar. It has been a while, and I believe the issues of South Sudan are like those who are at the forefront during the war. So you might be fighting on the other side of Upper Nile, another one is fighting on the other side of Equatoria, and others are fighting on the other part of Barakazal. So all of us, although we don't frequently talk, uh, I believe personally that each and every South Sudanese who are true patriots of their country are not sleeping. They are exchanging their ideas, they are talking day and night until cow will come back home. The right thing will happen in our country. Uh, Thirdly, Abraham Adit, it is a tragic what happened in custom. Personally, I ran out of words seeing the incident happen yesterday. I was observing, watching, and listen to our government. What will be their response? Unfortunately, we have seen the fire came in at the time when our government was so passive and they ignored, and we have seen the damage that fire has really impacted on that market. Secondly, that market, the custom market, is one of the largest markets in the capital city, Juba, alongside Konyo, and then followed by Suglibia. This incident happened not a year ago in custom, in Konyo rather, and we have seen the response from our government. No investigation, and if there is, we have not had any finding of that investigation. What was the cause and who was behind? It happened in Bor Town, the capital of Jonglei State. It happened in MI, Jeddah. But all these incidences, we have never had any concrete report or finding of the investigation. So to many of South Sudanese, they were thinking maybe it will stop there. But to some of us who were looking at it, this one will not stop until government need to come out clearly and confront this tragedy. And if not, it will continue. The next in the line could possibly be Sug Libya or even Sug Jabal. It's possible to happen. If you imagine, Abraham Adit, and you who are watching here, the audience, that poor woman who is doing micro business, small scale business to sustain her family could possibly be a widow, pay the school fees of her son or her daughter, and maybe provide daily meal. And the source of that income has gone without anybody responsible. And moreover, as my brother said earlier, that is a Christmas Eve or Christmas season, of which during Christmas, as Christians across the world, is a time people share love, a time where you can enjoy with your family. At least you thank God for ending the year successfully, and maybe ask God to open the new opportunities with the new year coming. Now we have started December with the sorrows, with sadness, which means this December will not end well, not only to those who are the victims of that tragedy, but equally to those who feel their pain like us. It is very unfortunate. I have seen the pictures of government officials trying to come into the scene just to oversee and maybe take some pictures for them to know or to tell us that the government is concerned. But such acts reveal a lot of things. That as a country, we always focus on who is opposing the government and who is in the position, who is being appointed and who is being released. But such incidences always reveal to us that there are a lot of things we are not having in other countries. We lack several things. This is a national tragedy in other countries. An incident cannot happen good 4 hours and no immediate emergency response team, not even firefighters or services. It raises a lot of questions that this Juba City Council, what are they really thinking of? Do they even know their duties and mandates? Or Juba City Council believe that their mandate is to collect those money in the market and maybe try to clean the Wazaret Road, the Ministry Road, to make sure that road is clean when the president will be going to his office. Their duties is beyond than cleaning the road. And their cleaning does not even cross 7 days roundabout. If you move toward Gudele, you will smell a lot of nasty things inside the road between the lanes. If you go to Custom or Konikonya, you will see the same thing. Then what is the work of this thing called City Council? And what is the work of Central Equatorial Government? These are the two immediate people we could pose a lot of questions to them before we reach to the national government. Other states, headquarters of Central Equatoria, I'm not even seeing their contribution. Most of them were highlighted here before. And if everybody wants President Kir to reimpose or remind you or tell you your duties, then please, you are lying to yourself. President Kir is struggling with a lot of things beyond even the duties of city mayor. It is very unfortunate indeed. Fellow citizens, I'm worried of three things currently. I had a privilege of visiting Khartoum in 2019 for the first time. And in that year, there was a year the crisis of Sudan started. And crisis of Sudan started like what is happening now in our country. It started by limiting the amount of money you can withdraw in your own bank account. In 2019, you'll find Sudanese queuing in the line 24 hours waiting for their turn to withdraw their money. And even if your turn comes to withdraw your money, the Sudanese government by then under President Bashir could not even allow you to withdraw more than 5,000 Sudanese pounds. They used to give you at least 5,000. And getting 5,000 Sudanese pounds, you will come home and you will send your wife to go and buy bread. And also buying bread, you'll find another queue. A very huge line. You can even spend 2 days waiting for that bread. Sudanese try so hard to endure such situation, hoping that the government will rectify the issue. And fortunately, nothing happened. That was the incident or the genesis, what compels the Sudanese to go to the street demanding for their rights. And fortunately, their right was hijacked by political general criminals. And that is why we are seeing Sudan is becoming a second Libya. That's why we are seeing Sudan, even Somalia is better than Sudan as we speak. I'm worried of that incident to happen in our country. Currently in Juba, those who have money in their bank account have no access to their money as we speak. You may go there to withdraw money. And you know, South Sudanese, especially the pastoralists one, Dinka Nuer, you'll find one working government official or a businessman house accommodating more than 20 people. And these 20 people must eat day and night. And if you go to the bank and they deny you to withdraw maybe 200,000 South Sudanese pounds, that is equivalent with one bag of flour. Then what will these people, 20 people in your house, what will they think of? I'm worried of that thing. Whoever came up with that policy, whether in terms of monetary policy to recover or rescue the economy, I ask them to go back to the drawing board and rethink again. There are other better options to recover this economy rather than such lugubrious thoughts of recovering the economy. If it continues like that after next year, July, believe you me, the situation will compel South Sudanese to die on the street than to starve in their own houses. Because there is a pride in dying fighting for your right than dying without fighting for anything. Number two, why I'm worried. If a country like South Sudan in a deep political crisis like ours, an economic crisis at the same time, if the country engaged in burning the source of their living, then one should be worried that the hatred in that country is beyond our explanation and it has even consumed the spirit of nationalism. How many fires broke out in that country and nothing happened? If government fails not to act accordingly, then by next year we'll speak different things. One may ask, how did this fire happen in custom? Of course, this fire is not falling from the sky. It is a man-made. And anything which is a man-made incident must be corrected by a man. No energy will come anywhere to correct that. There must be people behind this. And I'm happy to hear some rumors from my brother, Walmoranya. Completely, there are people behind all this sequence of fire outbreak. And what is the intentions of these people setting such huge market under fire or on fire? The intention is to frustrate citizens so that citizens can take over and demand for their rights. And if citizens demand for their rights, then what will happen? Some of us, we don't pray for South Sudan to follow footsteps of other African countries and even some of the European countries. And if that is their plan, I believe our government also should wake up and take absolute measures to arrest this situation. And if they take this case lightly like corruption cases, then this case will give birth to another several cases which government will be unable to control. Lastly, I've read the document Abraham Madit from the president, and I've heard from you when you are reading out the 2 or the 3 paragraphs or directive president has given. I read that document twice. I was hoping maybe I would see president forming a committee to investigate, but I did not see that committee, except president direct or given directives to the relevant authorities to investigate. My worry is president knows his subordinates and knows his institutions in that country, how reluctant they are. It would have been good for president to point the people to confront this situation. But him saying I have directed these relevant authorities, the relevant authorities will be slow to act because they will think maybe Ministry of Interior will think maybe the council of the city, Juba City Council of council actually will take lead in that. The Juba City Council will think, okay, maybe the Ministry of Interior will take lead. The police, on the other hand, will think maybe the Ministry of Interior will call them. None of them will take the lead. It is better for president to point out 1, 2, 3 people or 5 and task them and give them a time frame. You cannot just give South Sudanese an open-ended time. They can even take 6 months or even 6 years without giving you the report. How many committees president has actually formed? And not single day have we South Sudanese had the report or finding of that investigation. No single day, I cannot even remember any. And if you remember here, as a viewer, please, can you note it down here under the comment section? If there is a committee that has ever been formed by the president, carry out the investigation thoroughly, and came back with the report and publish the report publicly, so that the public also will have an idea that the investigations or the finding is 1, 2, 3. I have not seen that. And we always have many committees. This is what will happen too. Nothing will happen. You will see our government acting like they are not happy with what has happened, but give them 3 weeks or even next week, Tuesday. They will speak about different things. They will speak about degrees, people outside and in. They will speak different things, giving Christmas things and all that. Giving themselves like almost 1 month holiday because they have nothing to do. And this one will be a bygone case. Nobody will even talk about it. And the people behind this will move on majestically and execute another plan before Christmas or even during Christmas Eve. They are capable of doing that because they have mastered the mind and the work of our government. South Sudanese react so quick and they forget very quickly. Otherwise, I urge our government to act swiftly, as President stated in his statement, and thoroughly within 3 weeks, and give public the findings. Otherwise, I appreciate all of you for the time and thank you, Abraham Adit. I will stop here.
Thank you so much, Major Marco. You said it all, my brother. I saw one of the article, or one of the posts from Professor John Cage earlier today, and he wrote on his page saying that this was, he said, Juba City Council catastrophic or failure of the leadership by Professor John Cage. He said that here is what he wrote. A classic case of failing to plan is a planning to fail. A capital city with no master plan. Who is to blame? National government or the state government? The burning down Konyo a few years ago has followed Nyakuron and custom. The only difference is the land concerned belonged to University of Juba and was borrowed temporarily to the Juba City Council to lease out to the street investors. And the result it is for all to see. What does Constitution say about the Juba City? Go and read transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan, especially Article 50, Section 4, which read, and I quote, the city of Juba shall be the national capital of South Sudan and seat of national government. It is a temporary administration shall be defined, regulated by law, meaning city of Juba is a special administrative area under direct supervision of national government within implication of how its mayor is appointed or elected with the state of a governor or special administrative area. My people, we don't want to read the Constitution narrow, want to implement it. Here is the price we pay for leaving Juba City under the management of Central Equatorial State. Time for Juba City to come under national government like it say in the Constitution. And I quote. That is the statement from Professor John Cage. Is my question to you, one more Majok. I will go to you, Majok, and then I will go to Majok and then more Anyar. This fire incident, it will be a game changing? Do you think the government, central government of Republic of South Sudan and Central Equatorial government should now it's a time for them to come to conclusion that the capital city of South Sudan, Republic of South Sudan will be Juba, and capital city of Central Equatorial should be moved somewhere? So is this the turning point? Do you think that this should be the right time for calling what I'm reading from Professor John Cage? And he's quoting Constitution. Go ahead, Majob, and then I will go back to you one more.
Yes, thank you, Comrade. But it definitely in the country, then this incident should actually trigger a conversation, including whether Juba should be a capital city of South Sudan or a capital city of Central Equatoria. The history shows us that before there was a state called Central Equatoria, Juba was the capital city of autonomous government of Southern Sudan before the Central Equatoria was created. I think Central Equatoria was created as of 1998. It's even weird how the newly founded state come to rob the capital city from the nation that has had this as its capital since 1947. So Central Equatoria should either move to Lobojo or Yei, okay, or be given somewhere, or maybe Rajab can also be a capital city of Central Equatoria. But Juba had been a capital city of South Sudan and is still a capital city of South Sudan now. And the reason being, when you look at all the government positions in our country, whenever you're appointed to be a minister, where do you take oath at? Where do you take oath of your office, including the governor of Central Equatoria? Where does he take the oath of the office at? You take oath of the office in a place the appointing authority designated to be its capital city. That's why even the governor of Central Equatoria have to come and take oath before the presidency there and there where you go and take oath of the office is the capital city of the nation that gives you a mandate to be a governor. Okay? There is no way you can be appointed as a governor and then the president would have to go to you in your office in whichever state you live in order for you to take office oath of the office there. It doesn't make any sense. So honestly speaking, we people of South Sudan, we have been played. We have been played by the national government and the Central Equatorian government. Central Equatorian government has been actually appointing the city council for us, but have not been delivering. And the government of South Sudan has taken the responsibility of Juba as its capital city. So honestly speaking, the government of South Sudan has done its best when it comes to the Juba. But the Central Equatorian government is claiming Juba being its capital city, but never invest in it. It doesn't invest. I do not see anything that the state government have done compared to the other state governments, such as in Lagos State. No money gets taken from the national government to fix Rumbek. No money is taken from Juba to fix Wow. You know, the Western Barkazal's government is taking care of its own capital. So is it in Northern Barkazal and other states. But only in Central Equatoria, where we have a national government is standing to run the affair of the city, that gets claimed by the state government. That's the maximum confusion right there. It doesn't make any sense at all. So really, it should actually trigger a conversation within the parliament with regards to which one exactly is the capital city of Central Equatoria. In my opinion, the Central Equatoria needs to be given three options, either to move to Lobojo or to Rajab or to Yei, and to be given like some kind of financial package to go and establish their capital city there. J1, which is what is J1 now, was never built for Central Equatoria. The building J1, it was built for the government of Southern Sudan. When I am English, and Central Equatoria is very young. Juba had always been the capital city of the people of South Sudan since 1947. And let's assume that Central Equatoria is the capital city of what you call it, Juba is the capital city of Central Equatoria. Then which one is the capital city of South Sudan? If the government of South Sudan is homeless, how does the Central Equatoria even exist as a state? Can there be a state in a country that doesn't have a capital city? You know, it doesn't make sense. Can there be a state in a country that doesn't have a capital city? Kalam de Mojud Pidunia. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. A nation that creates a state has to have a capital city in order to have a seat of the authority. Yala Badagla, according to seat of authority, it can then create a state. But when I see some people talking, some of the regionalists and some of the tribalists, that say, oh yeah, Juba is the capital city of Central Equatoria. Okay, Dola Junub Sudan capital city, how go when? And how can Central Equatoria be a state in a country that doesn't have a capital city? It doesn't make any sense. As far as the Juba City Council is concerned, seriously, those are just a bunch of crooked individuals. They have no mercy to the people of South Sudan. And today's tragedy it falls on line with them. Whether things will be done differently now, to be honest with you, Yahwana Junubin, things should be done differently now. Actually, the regal taxida malo, the way the survey of the market in Juba are done is very, very weird. Think about it this way. If Helu yan tennis court, medan tennis, can you believe a space that is similar to a tennis court there? The few sit at the kakin? Ya lama tesma dukan pi konya upi wende they am sahabitora. I think it's just like around what? Around 20 feet by 10. Ya bugulu ina de galde dukanak. Ya gal badulu galde dukanak. Yan mal misah that mal medan kuraten is there bikun few sit at the kakin out a mene zato. Ana khajlana shan mane balik. It's very small. And the whole idea was what the city council was looking for is when they give a lot of people more shops, it means more money to them. They didn't care whether it makes sense or don't make no sense. They gave no damn about it. All they had to do is get some sukar. Yella was the only Junubin. Okay? And every small 20 by 10 feet rectangle, baduglo de, dibugulege galadi dukanak. Obadak Zoltan Badu Galagadi Dukano. Okula Kumbarak, everybody, every one of you here, you have to pay for registration fees. When I came and investigated this, Energy Shiftaino and Nasdel were more motivated in how much money they can take in the form of registration, but they gave no damn about the safety of our people. Ukalamire look at it. Let somebody try to go to Juba in that. We should Karita. Should Karta how the map is. What is very strange is Suk Yaksemu Umal Krezat Mal Bukun Malta parking lot Maki. I talk like this, Lana Anna Beticham, one of the places that is designed to be a market. I saw the map. Anila Masal and Naze Butula Moke, Karita Butakumde, yeah, fine. Lakin Suk Butakumde, Nas number GP Barabat. Galai, Nas Kineji Barab, Butulum tap. Where is the parking lot here? Arabada, I give away. Yep, Asuk Butakumde, Jamlau Beshuno, Buddha Bejibumbe remote control, will Bejibumbe drone. Ma Bejibumbe trakat. Truck de Bumurbe went in it, physical Karita de. Wallahi, Nas one is Kide, Ugala, as though they are Jana, but Africa, it was just talk of the America and Nagde. I come to realize that those people were more interested in how they can just take money from the people of South Sudan. It wasn't designed in a way, it wasn't designed in a way that really put Junubin and the safety of our people in consideration at all. Nasbas it on how much and the smaller the space, the more people you can fit in it in one location. The more people you can fit in one location, the more money you can collect. There's some skill, but at the king. So this thing here, it has to stop. There has to be a conversation, a real serious conversation, a honest conversation about how the markets are designed in our country, Comrade Madit. Another city council there, they are very crooked. They took with our win, Biamulu, or Mafi Mal, Mafi Mamar, Yella, I saw the Jamlaum Beshuno, Arabat Bukusuke, who's a vine that will join instead of Hajad Mabaju Arabat. It's really, really a big mistake. Like, for example, if you go to Juba now on your way to the road Jebel Dinka, you go there to PT Oil, you take a right hand. If you're going west, take a right hand to go north. It's a particular soup there. You'll come and see this market here. Already now, physical Amara is saying, Gamini Nak, Galida Amara. Can you imagine? You're raising a building. You're raising a building over a foundation that is 10 feet. Okay, or 10 meters by 20 meters. Where is the strong foundation that can support that heavy weight here? The man is identity mustaqbal, okay? Lojan Zalzal is still going to be a future crisis. ده حاجة ذات ده مصيبة على يحصل ليالنا بعدين في مستقبل. لكن طبعا right now ناس ملخومين the hatred has just يعني هنا ودرنا في كراهية حتى ذاته يعني we're not even thinking right. Like you can just see here the way I'm being criticized in the chat room here, the way I'm talking here. There are some people from Central Equatoria who are taking it into the Kalamta Dinka. Gabila. What I'm talking about here is the interest of all of us. The way our markets are designed doesn't affect me alone as a Dinkawi. It affects everybody that lives in Juba, including your own people that into Central Equatoria. So ana arifu mardanin be gabilia. But sometimes into Ashra Moya Barit, Elela Gal and think like a human being, Alana got it kalam kide mamas la gabila. They must love more than Al Juba, El Miskin. I know you might be one of the people whose uncle is working in the city council. I know you might be one of the people who is benefiting from the miseries of Genovian. That's why you think we should not speak up. Lakin Intama got it for my telephone bill. And so long as I have internet and I have access to Clubhouse account, I never go. I will tell it even if it makes you uncomfortable. You're the reason why our country is suffering now. My apologies, Madit, to use this language. Lakin kalam de gadi harigni. Lano nas alindu mankolot bedam algani demre belena now. They are nas albeji bekuno headache. They don't want to sleep and speak because human mustafidin. Their uncle are ruining our country. Barcelona Guruchin in the Western world here, and they're enjoying it. And when our people suffer, they want us not to talk. And when we talk, then they want to troll us in the chat room. Kalam de Bejakis, ya Richard Ham. Kalam de Katapude, the Kalam Manafa, the Kalama Walik. What I'm talking about here, the Magisa Gabila, and Arbita Mardan Begabilia. But this is something that is affecting all of us. It shouldn't be like that in our country. It cannot be designed in that way. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. I hope I have satisfied your answer here, brother. Thank you very much. Give the mic back.
Brother. Well, absolutely. So let me bring in Majok. So to answer that statement from Professor John O'Kane. Majok, before you deep into what Professor John O'Kane say, you know, if you can see the losses of the small businesses, the majority of those small businesses are women. Let's make large of it. They are women. They're selling. They're good for the to whether these women, as you mentioned before in your speech, that those women they are single mothers. Okay, they are widows, so they do that to help put their children into school, to feed their children, which is break my heart. It's break my heart absolutely. It's like there's a question there's a statement. One of the women said that we have here. I'm coding that. She said that I'm coding. We have lost everything. We do not know how to start again. And I quote that put a tear in my eye. Go ahead, Mitchell. What do you think about that? Go ahead.
Thank you, Abraham Madit, and I appreciate the viewers and the listeners in the clubhouse. First of all, Professor Kenya brought us, I think it's a point of which if government could pay attention to that, they can build something out of that statement. Indeed, Professor said clearly that we don't read Constitution. Actually, that is true. We have stopped reading as our Sudanese. Generally, we don't read. And that's why you see even our students are using what they term as mature.
Yeah, but we cannot hear him on in the clubhouse here.
Sorry, I read myself. Go ahead.
Until we accept to read, that's where we will understand and we distinguish between the mandate of the national government, the role of the state government, and the role of the city council. Otherwise, if we continue this way, a lot of things will continue to happen. I agree with Professor K in a sense that the government needs to to have a dialogue. They need to sit down and draw a plan on how to manage the capital city, Juba. Otherwise, Juba is being run just like another state capital city. So it needs a lot of effort from the national government to act, because the state government nowadays also pay attention to what the president will say, because president is the appointing authority. So if governor or minister misbehave, automatically they will be fired by the president. So if president know the level of his powers, president should engage these people from tomorrow. He should start calling them and have emergency meetings with these people and discuss on what will be the way forward. Through that discussion, they will have three things to do. Number one, on how to console the victims of that tragic incident. Number two, they will have a proper plan or survey of the market, either Konyo or Custom or Suglibia or Sugjabel. Number three, they will have the future plans to prevent such incident not to repeat itself. And if the government fails to meet, then we will see more than this to happen, either next year earlier or next year mid or the end of next year. And we will continue that way. So otherwise, that's what I can say regard to the statement of Professor John Kenya Forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Majok. Thank you. Let me, before we, I'm coming to conclusion, before we do that, yesterday, have you seen, yesterday when the fire broke out, there were one of the journalists, his name is Santo Geldut. He went to the scene and he was reported on there. So his name is Santo Geldut. So he's one of the journalists of South Sudan media. He was in the scene last night and he was reporting. And here is, I heard that he was arrested. Before I play his video, so I just want to call South Sudan government, harassment for journalists is unacceptable. So we call for the government of South Sudan, the national security or any security element that arrest him to release him. So we call for release of Mr. Santo Geldut. So this is the freedom, the press freedom. His right for information is that report. And I understand he was emotional on his video and he's calling out for president to do something. And that's the right thing, because it's heartbreaking. Even me, I'm not there. When I see the video and the fire went out and there was no response from the local government or international government. So this is the question that I'm asking tonight. If this fire, who to blame? Why is it the government is not responding? Are they neglect that this incident, suppose the local government, Central Equatoria, is supposed to respond, or in national government? This is where we are talking debate about. This thing need to be seized. Why is it the Central Equatoria the city need to move out from the city, from the capital city? So those post cities cannot be in one town or one city. It's not going to work that way, because will be the central government will say, okay, that's the work for the local government, Central Victoria, and Central Victoria, this is the work for the central, and this what happened, and this what there is a delay last night. There's no rescue response came in the scene. And listen to this journalist report last night and listen to see the video. It is a really sad and event.
داخل النار زي ما انتم شايفين النار مولع، والنار ابن جنوب السودان في كل مكان، يا النار زي ما انتم شايفينه كويس. ما في اي زول داري يساعد المواطن. النار شغال 5 ساعات ماشي يحرق البلد كله، البلد ماشي يولع، وانتم قاعدين في بيوتكم انتم فاكرين النار ده هيجي في مكان واحد. ناس تعبانين، حكومه ما داري يجيب، ما داري يشوف. ما داري يشوف الحاصل. لو عندنا حكومه قاعد من قبل النار يوم من الساعه 6 شغال، ناس تعبانين بينقلوا في حجر والنار ماشي يمسك بيت من بيت، بيت من بيت، دكان لدكان، والنار يا لسه مولع. ده في السوق كاستم، ده بدا من نياكورن مكان بتاع إذاعة والتلفزيون لقد ما وصل أصل للنص بتاع السوق بتاع نياكورن. الشباب يا قاعدين من قبل شغالين، ما في اي مطافي، عربات مويه بتاع حبش ما ممكن توكلوهم عشان يجوا يطفوا النار ده. يا الفقير، يا الفقير، اسمع النداء بتاع الشعب بتاعك. الشعب تعبان زي ما انت شايف النار، الشعب تعبان. النار عنده 10 ساعات، 10 ساعات النار قاعد يحرق في بيوت الناس وما في زول ولا حكومه. زي ما انتم شايفين ده الشباب، شباب صغار يقدر يعملوا شنو؟ يعملوا شنو في الحريقه ده يا الفقير؟ اعملوا شير للفيديو يا جماعه، اعملوا شير. احنا بلدنا ده خربان، النار يا زي ما انتم شايفين النار لسه جاي والناس نايمين في بيوتهم. انتم فاكرين حاجه ده ما بيوصل لكم؟ حاجه ده بيوصل. نار ده لو ما طفيتوا الليله ده بيوصل لبيوتكم اللي انتم نايمين فوقه. الشعب جنوب سوداني احنا ما عندنا حكومه، حكومه ما في بالطريقه ده، ما عندنا حكومه بالطريقه ده، ما في حكومه. وين أمدا جوبا؟ وين أمدا بتاع جوبا القاعد يلم ضرايب من الناس وقاعد وين؟ أمدا جوبا قاعد وين؟ أمدا بتاع جوبا انت وين؟ انت نايم في بيتك والبلد قاعد يحرق، انت وين؟ انت وين؟ بكره لما يفتحوا دكاكين مواطن يعمل مجهود بتاعه تجي تجيب انت ده ضرايب، ده القروش بتاع عمده، ده القروش بتاع النظافه، وانت ما موجود لما الناس في معاناه بتاع النار. نار قاعد يحرق الناس وانتوا قاعدين نايمين في بيوتكم. Oh Jesus Christ. يا جنوبيين اعملوا شير للفيديو ده، اعملوا شير للفيديو ده، خلي الفيديو ده يوصل لفخامه الرئيس الفقير. الفقير انت شغال قاعد تغيل الناس، بتغيل الناس بالفعل عشان هم ما شغالين. وين أمدا جوبا؟ أمدا بتاع جوبا وين؟ نار شغال 6 ساعات، 6 ساعات وانتوا سمعتوا وانتوا نايمين في بيوتكم. ما في ولا حكومه ولا بوليس ولا دفاع مدني ولا شرطه بتاع مرور ولا اي زول قاعد ياكل من بلد ده. ما في اي زول قاعد في النار ده. المواطنين يا قاعدين يتفرجوا بعيونهم، لكن ما في حاجه بنقدر نعمله للنار ده. يا ربي لا صعب، لبتين يا جماعه، لبتين واحنا في معاناه، لبتين واحنا في معاناه. وصلوا البتاع ده يا جماعه، انا زعلان. وصلوا الكلام ده، وصلوا الكلام ده يا رئيس الفقير. انت نايم جوا جايوان، انت نايم جوا جايوان والناس قاعدين يولعوا بيوت الناس، قاعدين يحرقوا بالنار. سكاسهم بكره أمدا جوبا يجي يجيب ده ضرايب، ده القروش بتاع النظافه، ده القروش بتاع السوق، ده القروش بتاع كل حاجه عشان يفلس المواطن. هذا السوق قاعد يحرق من قبل 6 ساعات، مسافه كيلومتر هرق حسه وياه. النار لسه ماشي قدام، نار لسه ماشي قدام. اعملوا شير للفيديو ده عشان بعدين انتوا قاعدين تقولوا ساندو بتاع ساوث السودان ميديا قاعد يكورك ساكت. انا ما قاعد اكورك ساكت، انا بكورك عشان معاناه بتاع الجنوبيين، معاناه اللي احنا قاعدين فوق ده اللي انتوا شايفينه الليله ده. وانتوا نازل برا انتوا سمعتوا كلام دار ده من الساعه 6، سمعتوا كلام النار ده من الساعه 6. من الساعه 6 ما في حكومه جا ولا بمويه دين بتاعت المويه ولا أمدا جوبا. الناس قاعدين يلموا ضرايب بالكاكي بتاعهم كل يوم ده. ما في ولا واحد فيهم جا واقف في الكلام ده، ما في ولا زول. انتوا شايفين البيوت بتنهار، البيوت تنهار، الدكاكين بتاع المواطنين بتنهار بالبضاعه بتاعهم. كيف يقولوا انه البلد فيها حكومه؟ لو ده انت اعتقلون الليله، اعتقلوني من اجل جنوب السودان ومن اجل الشعب الجنوبي. يا جماعة ما في حاجة غير مع انه الدولة بتاعك لما يكون طلع انتوا الليلة لو ده انت اعتقلوني عشان انتوا شايفين في النار شغال من الساعة 6 وما في زول، ما في زول يا جماعة يا جنوبين. لا حكومة لا أمدا جوبا القاعد يلم ضرايب 24 ساعة. لو انت ما اديته جنيه يقفل دكان بتاعك. لا ناس القاعدين يكتروا في ضرايب ادوس الفقير، أدوس الفقير. انت قاعد تكتر ضرائب كل يوم، قاعد تقتل في الشعب الجنوبي يا دود. يا النار مولع، الناس في معاناه وانتوا ساكتين. ما في اي زول يا جماعه. انا ما قاعد ابكي ساكت، أنا ما قاعد أبكي ساكت يا جماعة. أنا لما جيت أنا شفت المعاناة. أنا سمعت النار من الساعة 6. من الساعة 6 أنا قلت ممكن النار عملوا له حندل وين تحت. أنا لما جيت الساعة 9 لقيت النار لسه مولع في السوق يا جماعة. النار لسه مولع السوق. سوق كسم يا خربان زي ما أنتم شايفين. وحاجة ده ما بدأ من سوق، حاجة ده بدأ من حلة. وفي ناس جواسيس اللي عاملين كلام ده عشان يحرقوا دكاكين بتاع المواطنين المساكين اللي ما عندهم اي حاجه. في ناس عاملين سياسه ده عشان كده هم الحكومه كله ساكت. لا في زول بيحاول عشان يعمل حاجه، ولا في حكومه جزاته عشان يشوف في شنو شغال هنا. ما في اي زول يا جماعه، ما في اي زول، ما ممكن. ده ما دوله بشغل ده، ما دوله بطريقه ده. يا سلفكير لو قدرت تقنيه الليله انا بوريك. انا سانتو بتاع ساوث السودان ميديا، انا سانتو بتاع ساوث السودان ميديا، انا حق جنوب السودان، انا حق جنوبين. احنا كده ننادي المنظمات العالميه عشان هم ينزلوا يساعدوا الشعب الجنوبي في المعاناه اللي هم فوقه. وما في اي زول. احنا كل يوم بنساعد واقفين ظرف الحكومه عشان نقول الحكومه بتاعنا كويس، نقول انه سلفكير بتاعنا كويس، نقول ادوس الفقير كويس. لكن ما في زول كويس يا جماعه، ما في زول كويس في الحكومه بتاعنا. زول كويس ما في. وده انا شاك انه الحاجه ده سياسه عملوها عشان يولوا في دكاكين بتاع مساكين. دكاكين بتاع مساكين يولوا. لو ما كان ده يا سياسه اللي عاملينه كان في مطافي جه. لو ما كان ده يا سياسه اللي عاملينه كان في حكومه جه. لو ما كان ده سياسه اللي عاملينه كان شرطه مرور هنا اللي بيشيل كل يوم ضرائب من الناس في الشوارع. يا جماعه هنا تعبانين، هنا تعبانين بجد، هنا تعبانين. عملوا شير للفيديو ده، عملوا شير للفيديو. سلفكير لو نايم خليه يصحى، لو سلفكير نايم خليه يصحى. ادود سلفكير لو انت نايمه اصحى يا ادود. ده يا سلطه ليتا كوتا دايرو، ده يا سلطه ليتا دايرو. سلطه لازم تنقذ الشعب حتى لو في نار صغير لازم الناس تجيب فوقه. لكن لما انه النار يولع 4 ساعات ولا 5 ساعات وما في اي حكومه جا وقف، اتمنى انه سلفكير يجي يشوف معاناه ده. اتمنى انه سلفكير يجي يشوف معاناه المواطن الجنوبي قاعد فوق يا النار لسه مولع. عنده شهود على ذلك. دكاتين بيتحطموا بحاجات بتاعهم، بكل شيء الموجود. حاجات المواطن عملوا بتاعه.
Okay, so at the end of the video, yeah, Jama, the video, there was a gunfire. I cut that side off, so there was a dark and everything. On the end of the video, there was some of the voice of the security personnel. They capture sound, like they capture him, and there was a sound. What the guys just said that yes, I hear the sound of the gunshot, but I don't know if they shot Santo or not. So it's not clear. So we probably there would be, if the people, family and friend of Santo, people, they need to update the public whether he's safe. But what I heard today that he was arrested, but I hope he's okay. And just I'm calling out to the government to release him. So, Majok, what do you say about that? And then I will give you a question one more. This is sad.
It's very unfortunate, Abraham Madit.
What is also that? Yeah.
First of all, I appreciate my brother Santo for doing what is right. That was what anybody or national citizen can do. Because in such incidences, we always believe by seeing or by evidence. And for him doing that, it has actually shown to the whole world that that incident happened and he was present on the scene. Indeed, my prayer is with him, and I call upon the Minister of Information, Honorable Tanyawat, to look into that case. Personally, I don't see a reason for him being arrested. He was doing his duties as a journalist, broadcasting the incident that was happening. But because our security personnel live in a fear environment, they can arrest you without even being told to arrest you. I hope Honorable Tanyawat will look into that case and my brother Santo will be released as soon as possible, because he has not committed any crime for him to be arrested. He was performing his duties and he was speaking from his heart. He was not faking anything. You could even hear from his voice. The man was speaking out of emotion, and what he has witnessed actually can make you get out of your character. But for him, he has actually maintained his inner being. But he was calling out the president and the daughter of the president, who is the presidential envoy. And I'm happy I took a tour in the morning to go and see and witness what has happened. And the next thing that we will ask Honorable Du to do is to act, because South Sudanese are no longer in a business of showing them pictures or feeding them lip service. They really need action as currently. So that's one thing I can say in regard to the incident of my brother Santo. Otherwise, he has done very well, and we wish him very well. Lastly, before I yield it back to Abraham Madit, I've seen somebody commenting that Santo was shot by the national security personnel dead. Please, if we want to speak in regard to the national affairs, let's not use propaganda. If you give such information, make sure you have a credible source. But if you come and put such information outside here, it will be like you are inciting the public to believe what is not true. So let's all assume that the clear information now is that Santo has been arrested. So let's get clear information from the relatives, from friends, and from the government. For the next 2 days, we will hear the exact information. But disinformation and miscommunication or misinformation is very dangerous in our current society, especially we who are being dominated by technology, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and everything. So we always be mindful about the information we pass outside there. Thank you so much, Abraham Madit. I yield it back to you.
Thank you, Brother Majuma, for one more again.
Yes, thank you, Comrade Madit. It's very disheartening hearing the voice of our brother yelling his lung out, the cry. Actually, his voice represents the voice of a desperate nation, and his words are lamentation. I do not see anything wrong that he has said to warrant the authorities to arrest him. If we really have a government, the government was supposed to arrest the fire, not the guy that said there is a fire. You government that has the authority to arrest people, you should have fought the fire, not the one that was crying fire. I listened to him attentively to try to see what is the bad thing that he might have said. Is it because he said there is no government in our country? Well, when a citizen says that there is no government in our country, is a statement of protest. It's a protest. You are a citizen who is not satisfied by the performance of your leaders, and you don't feel the presence of the government. You can say that. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have a zero government in our country. And then at the same time, the same citizen here call on President Kiir. The fact that he called on President Kiir to do something is also a recognition of the government and the authority that exists in our country. So the people who have arrested him, I would call them people who are desperate for a favor. They're looking for a favor from the authorities. Badena and Yogolo, yes, good boys. You guys have done something. This guy was blaming and belittling the president and belittling the mayor and questioning the mayor, and you guys try to suppress him. These are just a bunch of useless national security personnel who are abusing the power to suppress the citizen. Otherwise, what did he do wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. There was a fire and the guy did not see his government. If there was a fire, if there was a fire and he was seeing his government trying, he would have not spoken in the way he did. But he was there for at least 4 hours and no government showed up. So what could you say as a citizen if you were to put yourself in his shoes? Then your government is absent, and absent government is a zero government. Kalamde Kidip, if Hukuma kan mojud, where were you? Why didn't you try to rescue at least Dukan wide bus? Kan Hukuma fi Maluma kasto rakuba wide bus the custom. Rakuba wide bus but that habobal gadamu chapati. Why you did not rescue it? If you existed at that hour as a government, Kansanto is lying. Why you did not rescue at least Nyango Rakuba wide bus? If you were there, our government that arrested Santo now, if you truly existed, show us a single Rakuba you have rescued in custom. Then, if you were unable to rescue Nyangur Rakuba, but the manner you were zero. If you were zero, then you don't exist, and it is justified for a citizen like Santos to talk of the absence of the government in our country. It is true. Because if you are available and you are powerful as a leader and as a government, warina rakuba wadalinta ang kasto. Because of warina rakuba wide, but whoever arrests this guy is an hungry dog looking for a favor from the superior authority. Demazol got yakdim dola junub Sudan. It's just a hungry dog. Love is kaki wadab and dukia fi edenu ugalu national security is the one who arrests this guy. He is not serving our nation. You not. You are a disgrace to us. Because the voices such as the voice of this journalist here are the voice we need to hear. He was sending an alarm out. He was waking us up. Intazatu, al-international security, al-gabata zoli sumusanta de, the man akide hasti zatak intayadu batana. Because if you are not an enemy to this nation, why do you want to shut down somebody that give us alarm about the danger impending in our nation? Kanita madu batana, itale that sakit zol kan gadi warina no ya junubin. There is a fire. Why do you want to silence him? Do you want to see our nation burning in silence? Itamadar zol yadin yani tamadar in Nabahona. Is that why? Is that what I'm supposed to understand here? Is somebody reading it from my angle, Afana? If this guy was telling us about fire, that means he was trying to make us wake up and rescue ourselves. What did he do wrong? Uzol al-Beji them privileges with the national security day and try to shut down the man who was waking us up. Zol national security day, Kadamula to security say, Utabale when Utabale Junub Sudan will I do Junub Sudan. You be the judge. You be the judge. And from this audio, ya Comrade Madit, I begin to see something different. أنا بقيت قاعد نشوف حاجة زي حاجة اللي حصل زمان في روم. في كان فاير نهر بيقولوا نيرو، في كان شيء اسمه نيرو إمبراطور نيرو. ناس Catholic, the people who are of Catholic background will know what I'm talking about. There was a Roman emperor called Nero. It is the history says that there were a group of Christian people who occupied a certain location in a town, very strategic, and Nero had wanted to take over that land. But he did not have excuse. And so he set the fire on, and that fire almost destroyed the half of Rome. It's a great fire in history. I will Harika Yan Damar Medina, really bad. Okay, Ilibad ma Narde Hassel fi Rome. Then you would expect, okay, after the fire was out and consumed everything, the land still should belong to the same people who owned it before the fire, right? No. Nero came and took over that plot of a land. Wamal fi Hajakir is the stadium or something, whatever, I lost the detail. Lakin Pikan Harika Zede. Can bigger figure national security has said who are shutting down the man who was making an alarm بمعنى harika de ما بجا بكون harika بتاع زي harika بتاع نيرو بعدين. أنا ممكن نقول with confidence إنه maybe في زول كبير أو في ناس كبار who might be behind this. Otherwise, why is the man who was waking us up arrested? كان ما في زول كبير عنده رقبة في harika ده. كان ما في ناس كبار عندهم رقبة في harika ده. ويتو القاعدين معي في الغرفة ده monitor the future. If you begin to see much more modern buildings being constructed, Timal al kan fiu custom de, remember my voice at what I said here. The mana harika de bukun harika bata nero batana. The mana ay bukun pinas kubar kan gulubum ti mahal de, lani abi ka nazindum guru chasta. These are the people who can afford to build a modern mall. They are not in the Guru Shtaban. And as strategic as custom is, and Umar Fitarika Bagdad Shilman Masakin, maybe some big people and big names are playing the narrow game. Otherwise, well, the Khalif is speaking, you know, because he was telling us about fire. What crime did he commit? And if he's arrested now because he was telling us about a fire, the manner it looks like our authorities were more interested in the fire taking place in custom instead of putting it out. And anyone that make a noise about the fire or letting people know about the fire was seen as a potential danger that was going to start the project. Then he has to be shut down. You know, being connect the dots and see what I'm seeing. See what I'm seeing here. I think this something smells like a narrow fire in Juba. وراقب معي المستقبل. كان شفتوا دكاكين تمام دكاكين جيابة. Good shopping mall, I know there is nothing wrong with that. But the question will be, all of these good shopping malls still. Malo jayin e gomo fi malde alelere. How about Bukra? Emana, الناس اللي بكون عندهم قدرة عشان يبنوا this nice دكاكين القيافة ده. I can conclude, you know, they are not maybe they're the one who played the dirty game. I'm feeling it that way. After I hear the guy's voice and after learning that he has been arrested, I begin to see it that way now. I begin to see that maybe there are some rich group people who have stolen our wealth, but they have no reason to take over the custom, but to create a fire in order now to build in nice, fine, and shiny malls. And so they don't give a damn about moms who goes there to sell chapati to make ends meet for her children. They don't care about the children who probably have gone to bed today hungry because mom's business has been burned and there's nothing to eat as a family. They don't care about that. They care about the location of the place. Whether women who hustle there to feed their families go without the business, it don't matter to them. What matters to them, it seems to me like now, it seems like location is what matters to them more. They wanted to build modern malls in it. You know, record my voice in your memory. Calamity, Sejulukwe, Wanashubadin. Let us monitor what will happen in custom. The moment you begin to see big excavators, Great El Kubar, machine in the name of cleaning, remember what I have just said. Remember it. That guy called Santos Madit is a victim of alarm because he was not supposed to let us know because somebody wanted to see the custom being consumed by fire in order to create a space for influential and all too powerful individuals to build modern malls there. وتاريخ يشهد, and the future will tell whether I'm a liar or not. All I just want you remember my voice in this room. That is what I can say with regards to that, Comrade Madit. وكلام ده لو جاء حصل بعدين, I'm not going to say Junubin Ayamal because I cannot, and I will not talk that my land Junubin sometimes are coward. But this is what I see here. When I hear that guy's voice, when I see the fire, I see, yani fi haja kade is deliberate yani. Then the question is, Zolal Bukun Harak custom deliberately, what is he looking for? My answer is looking for his space. They have a lot of money, but they have nowhere to invest them. So destroy this to custom in order to create a space. I can mold up no enough because Kuloroa Kibdel, Maga, the Rina law. But did they even have to do that? They didn't even have to do that. They could still build the mall. Why is all alive instead of Kisukte? Yamshi Ajar in a modern mall. They didn't have to destroy the lives of Junubin people. Very, very unfortunate. I'll stop here, Comrade Madit. I yield the mic back to you. Comrade Joseph is here with us, and Dr. Pondida Nyag is also here in the room. Thank you, Comrade Madit. Mic goes back.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Walmuranyar, and let me welcome Brother Tonanyuak and Joseph. And so let me give this chance to Joseph and Dr. Tonanyuak so that they can put in, and then I will close up this video, and then we continue with the discussion in Clubhouse. Joseph, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Majak, and thank you for coming back to the Clubhouse. We miss you for days. You are not active. Thank you, Walmoranya, and greeting to you too, and greeting to our big brother in SPLA, Victor Tonanyuak. The result is SPLA Kaviri, and I say big in SPLA, and he's a big supporter, or the member of the SPLM party. Every time I see you, like I see the SPLM party. And greeting to the audience of South Sudan Eagle Media, Nazalitahet, and all audience from different places and from 64 tribe. Madit Majak, thank you for coming with this incident with that, the market in Juba. It was very bad, and it's very sad. لأنه الشاب اللي حصل له مشاكل ده shop belong to the poor people, or بيقول عليهم شنو the middle class zato. I don't know what class I need to put them. ناس اللي عندهم shop there.
Actually, you put it right, poor people,
yeah. Poor people, yes. Yeah, all the shop belong to the poor people. They depend on that shop. Because it's only the family of 3, 4 kids. They are responsible to feed the family from that shop, pay the school fees. Oh, because any country will develop when people are working hard in a different section. Now, much of it to be a government official. But then the country will develop when people are doing many different things. And at the same time, the government is benefiting from whatever you're doing by collecting tax. Yeah, in South Sudan, the first taxes that the government collect, the taxes with that shop will be going to for Juba, because the city don't joke. City will come to your shop and let you pay the taxes that you owe. You have to pay them, and there's no joke. If you don't pay them, they can shut down your shop. What happened is very sad, and is alarming, and is a wake-up call to our government in South Sudan and to the President Mayadit. To me, it looked like President Kim Mayadit is not getting a good briefing from the official. With this scenario, Madit Majak remind me what happened to Hosni Mubarak when there is a protest in Egypt. When President Mubarak asked his office, because of protocol, President we move freely, what happening outside. President always depend on the report, the briefing from the closet official. President, this is the scenario. President Mubarak was receiving wrong information from the Minister of the Interior. He was briefing, say, attack whatever is happening outside, whatever you hear outside, it's just a small group with a student, but just protest are mad. But the scenario out there was bigger than that. It is bigger than Delhi student, but just a small group of students are mad. We can use the fire trucks, the water, but that is the report Mubarak was getting. But thing was bigger, is more bigger than that one. Like in Hassan Shanif, when bad and bad, President Mubarak tried to react, but it was too late. And he had to force to resign, to leave the power. Mubarak Jagal, the reporter, I was deceived by my official. Lamaja wada fi court fi mahkama. Minister of Interior, but you do information, President Matahaja. The situation is under control. It's just a small group of students, Lamlin Mashake. But we will control them with the fire trucks full of the water. I can put the same scenario in South Sudan, President Kir Mayadit. Some people, the cabinet with that President Kir or the closest people to the President Kir are deceiving Mr. President. Or they are not giving accurate information. How come big city, capital city like Juba, Medina Kabir Zeda, fire rescue with them is very weak, and they are not capable to control the fire for more than 4 hours or 5 hours. They were in failure somewhere, somehow. Fire rescue always, for any country, fire rescue is a very important thing, because fire rescue they cannot deal only with the fire. They can deal with the fire, and they can deal with the medical situation. They can deal with any rescue, any situation. They're the first one to come and rescue you. But then they're the first one to get to you before you go to hospital. Lakin fi baladna, some officials, they neglect as fire rescue, the fire department. Or some people are looting the money that the budget, because the proof is there. Like Santo was saying on the video for many hours. Fire truck look water what more is that pressure? There is no pressure. Fill water. According to some people are saying, Juba for 1 truck, some people are saying for 2, some people are saying, more able to be Juba Bahar. Is a wake-up call. Coming to Santo. Santo is a brave man. Uzol Shuja. The reason I'm saying Santo Shuja is different than the other journalists in Juba. Because I've been following Santo for many months, or for a year or 2. Santo, when the student of South Sudan is student with Monster in Cairo, the authority with the University in Juba, because of the fees, the government is responsible to pay the school fees. For some reason, fees. And then the student, they went protest, they went to embassy. They went inside the embassy, who got the embassy for 3 days. Santo was there with them. I'm a live video. And Santo protests with the student as a brave man. The same Santo, when Tutkiel went to Egypt, and Tutkiel was a group like a candy, was giving money, dollars like a candy, and people gathered in my last year to the hotel that Tutkiel stayed in. Santo went there, and he did a live video. In the Junubin, Talshu for Tutkiel, the group that Junuba Sudan. Was the only nurse, and people came from everywhere. Telefona Chagalo, Tutkia for hotel is giving people money, free money. Santo did that one. Good Kalam. Santo, one of the people in the Kalam, one incident with Medani, with a Junubin Catalog Medani. And he opened his live videos. وانا شفته داد سانتو doing that. بالنسبه للفاير اللي حصل في جوبا, the reason why I say Santo is a brave. Because if you are not a brave, you're not a hero. You cannot do this kind of video inside Juba capital, next to the president, Kir Mayadit, next to the office of the national security, the Blue House, and teft a telephone batak, and you go live video to condemn the government, tell it the government, 4 hours, the guy. When the president, let the president wake up, your president Kir Mayadit if you are still sleeping. Wake up, your dude self Kir Mayadit. There is a disaster. In the country, the leader cannot sleep. Everybody have to be awake and address the issue. The Kalambitan Santo, and it's Kalam very brave. We went to label the Gadi Gazeru, Malata Masakin, and I agree with him. Shopal Gadi Haridokulu Masakin. Poor people. And poor people, they defend Hajadel. The message Elkan Santo was sending. When we to Hakuma, they always, the situation is getting worse and worse. Unana Tabanin. We are self-care. If you want to arrest me today, come and arrest me. The person that arrested Santo, according to the video, when you listen to the video carefully, I can tell you from national security. Is somebody being trained, and he is well trained in the social media. Because when he approached Santo, he said, I will camera, they shut down the camera. Ugalam into your Nazbitan Hajata social media del Gatamolo del Yani into del you the one and that creating problem for South Sudan the social media del Kalam Algaro Lesano into del Yao Yal Garin Tamolo Hajatel with social media much and into del Yao Jabin Mashakil much. I feel and then everything went silent. And then I can hear voice. But I believe that even the guy arrested Santo is from Dinka. He's a Dinka because him and Santo they speak in Dinka briefly for 1 minute. Because they say something in Dinka, but I don't remember with that word. National Security was saying, and then Santo was talking to the guy in Dinka language. Yeah. So the guy who arrested Santo is from Dinka too. The Mazolmi Makantani. Because they exchange word in Dinka in the last 1 minute, and then the video went silent. Haja, my message to my conclusion. Santo message without not wrong with his message. Those journalists, somebody care about South Sudan. Somebody is feeling the pain with our poor people. My message to the government as self-care, around self-care, President care, people are deceiving you. You are getting wrong reporting. You are getting wrong information. Please, can I use some time? Can I open another door for civilian poor people to get touch with you? You will hear a lot of things. You're not getting in the report. Report the official, but you will let the official will make sure that report contain hajat, whatever stuff that will make you happy. Like them hajat on the ground. Hajat on the ground and completely different thing. Santo, my message, I'm not gonna accuse the government behind arrest, but it's a government is always he represent the government, but he came without no order because he just find somebody is filming and talking. Microphone itu ya al gadi tamal hajatel ya nuja izalan min nas on social media and he arrest Santo. Like I believe the arrest of Santo been accepted by officials because Ulaman Gabot Santo, if the official did not accept that, it's supposed to be released next day or the same night. Because he would take it to custody and he will go and explain why he arrested Santo. And Santo is still under arrest until now. That's what I know so far. Maybe I'm wrong. But Hakuma Gibel and Kalami, Hakuma Luma Gibel is supposed to be released from my end. So my message to the government, release Santo. Not wrong, but Santo saying the message is just condemn his president. In your president, wake up. Yeah, do self-care. Nas guiding the mood. People are dying. And the situation is worse in South Sudan. Okay. But anyway, that's what happened. Madit Majak, because you open, the other still is open. So I will stop there and pass it to you and thank you. And greeting to you, Brother Majak.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brother Joseph. A wonderful statement and input. Absolutely, I agree with you. Dr. Thwananywak, welcome, my brother. Put in your input. And then before I close
Yeah,
down the
let,
studio.
let me say this here about it before, and I'll hand it over to Brother Tonajak. You know, Joseph, there is a danger that our leaders don't seem to see in this. Lano, Yahwana, human being, you have to give me a small room in order for me to have a hope. If I have a hope, I can endure today's hardships for a better tomorrow. But if I know that I'm suffering now, and tomorrow I'm going to suffer, I look deep into a time and I don't see any hope of my situation changing, I would either commit a suicide or take a drastic measure. If in our country, even some places where people go and hustle are now not being protected, then who is going to sit there in Juba with a Shubialak Yamutu Bejo? Who will take it? Then what will happen later on if our leaders don't watch out? Because if with the people of South Sudan or the people who are in Juba now all become hopeless, you know what will happen? We understand that Sudan must be but will just get on the Sudan kede ayayikun mot tagot fi betak fi hosh bitak mindek shakol dukana harabu malhasil kullu kalas wogafo kede atamut kan bejo inta atamut kan betelga inta atamut. I think Junubin will resort to dying trying. Ukalam de baden ma bukun kwes. And our leaders need to pay attention to this. You got to at least give Junubin a reason to live, to hope. We're not asking for internet. We're not asking for BMWs. We're not asking for all of these luxuries. We're just asking for a safety in our market here. Let our markets not go up in flames, so we can have a place to go and hustle. But if we don't protect our market, we give up on salaries already. We are there not getting to Juba. What else? Mafi shirkat, mafi factories where people can go and work at. Then you're depriving people every opportunity to make a living. And when people come to understand this, you know what they will do? They will storm the streets. At the group, Laman attack to Larke de Kraslan, Mot de Bukun Modian. In can you move to Beju or you move to Betelga, I could mot. And that would not be really good. And our top leadership need to think seriously about this because Natija of the negligent Kulu, it doesn't threaten any one of us aside from the way it threatens us from hunger. Lakin ana unahna kulina aljua ini de wemani na munasib hukuma. You know, if the public uprise today against us, I'm not going to lose a ministerial post. I'm a wazir. As a matter of fact, never work with the governor of South Sudan. Okay? But you people who are benefiting from this government here, I want to let you know that into Alganta Hakemuna, you are a minority. We are the majority. Don't upset the majority. Itu be Kalansnikoval Piyedenkum, you are minority. We can make a sea. We can make an ocean. We can collect. So, Masur of that Bundubiade, we can collect it. We can shock the will of the tongue with our bones and flesh. We can do it. We are the majority. Don't push us to the edge. Not going to be good for you. So, Ananya, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Tonanywak, before you go ahead, here is the question that I give you. Yeah, I heard the rumors. These are rumors. Sometimes South Sudanese, they will say the rumors, but at the end, it will be true. I heard that a few days ago, or the town mayor went to custom and told the shopkeepers that they wanted to mental the area. So now, last night, we have seen same place that he went there and said that he wanted his mental. The fire broke out and burned all the shoppies. Do you think this is coincidence? What do you say on this? Pardon.
Thank you, Madit. I appreciate you for opening the space. And before I speak, Madit, I just wanted to just play a clip. I will be cutting briefly, just some few voices of our mothers in the market, pleading for help and everything that has happened and the little that they owned. Now I'll speak briefly. I will answer your questions and then I'll speak briefly after the voices, which it's a bit 10 minutes, but I will not play it for 10 minutes. I will be chunking through it. I will be cutting it like that as we move on, if that is okay. Okay. That's one voice of a crying mother, a crying woman. Let's push it ahead.
Atanita mada beta kikerena kanin ai ni bikenda na selan material ke malu bede kapande ana gata na kuma tena ta junub Sudan kala ta ina na nusuan hagiga nusuan tabanin ya rujal tena kula agara akwana agara shi haga jidun fi jua kullu ma zaman fi takhrij kullu ma zaman fi takhrij lakin ma fi sokol albodi lezon wala صغير ولا كبير لكن ربنا أنا بيسألي قال ربنا كذي جميل الجون ده حياته بعجاب كيف ربنا بكرة الناس يصير بعرف قال ربنا أنا بوسني كده ربنا أوجسي أنا ما عندي كلام كتير بس ربنا كذي ده وشكرا لكم.
I think I'll stop it here. These are just few voices of the mothers who defend and feed their children in the market. One woman was asking another woman of what she has lost. The woman being asked, she is not able to describe what she has lost because she has lost everything, literally. Another woman says that she has a sister that's a follower to her, and she has that sister passed on, leaving her with 5 children. She has her own children, and the sister left 5 children after she died. And so she's left with the responsibility. She has 2 shops in custom, and these 2 shops are all raised now. An account of the other woman also said that the kids are depending on her, and the husband is not working. All of that help come from the shop. And that shop is no more. There's a student from the University of Juba who pays his school fees by carrying things. And specifically, he has a wheelbarrow that he pushed in that market. He would go for class, and when he's done, he goes back to the market and pushing things using wheelbarrow to get the money and saved it so that he's able to pay his school fees. His wheelbarrow is burned completely, and everything that he used, the ropes and all other few things, are all burned to ashes. Now, that is an account of what, just a snapshot. And this would not be all the women. I'm very sure hundreds of them that are working in Nyakuron, in the market, in custom market, they are crying and they are asking. 2 people. One are the people that are managing the country, and I'm talking about the leadership here. And the last person that the women, our mothers, are asking is God. That why is this happening to us? Let me answer your question first, Madit. Indeed, it is not rumors. Few days before this incident of the fire happened, the mayor of the Juba City Council had actually asked the vendors. He have asked the vendors around the custom market to vacate the areas and not having a stall like these stalls along the way, that it should all be removed and make the road be clean. Prior to this fire, we have seen these vendors along the street were vandalized. And I think some of you have seen the photos. You might have seen the images of this location being cleaned up. They were chased out and their things were all taken. Okay? And then now the incident of this fire happened. Yeah, Jama, the incident of fire is not the first time it's happening. And before I left Juba, we have seen what has happened in the one in Konyo market. That was blamed to the faulty electric circuit. That was the initial one. And then the other one again was blamed to somebody that was lighting fire somehow in the evening. And then it caught up with everything and then it burned the entire place. Custom, I think, has burned several times. Nyakuron market has also burned. It's just adjacent to custom on the other side. It has also burned, not the first time. We have seen also a burning of Jebel market. Some of you are familiar with Juba. So Jebel market has at one point also burned. And in all this situation, if you want to know that nothing is going to be done, and I'm speaking as a son of Junubi, and I'm speaking as a son, okay, born of a mother, and these are the women that are suffering, and these are the women that are crying. I want to speak more succinctly today. This fire that is always every year in December. In fact, every year in December we see markets burning. The question is, who is behind this fire that is burning things every year in December? This is one question we need to ask ourselves. And secondly, as our late Dr. John Grant said, that if you want to kill a case, you form a committee to investigate the case. That case is no more. The least we need to hear, and the least our mothers need to hear, is this so-called forming a committee to investigate the case. These women will not get justice. The case will be interfered with. It will be meddled with. The beginning of the case and the end of the case will not be known properly. The result of that case is fraudulent. Okay? The result of that case is nothing short of being manipulated, and the information you'll get is just zero. It's rubbish.
The question is on Anya. Why do we even investigate what we know? A mistake we know. What is there to be investigated here when we know exactly Harika de Azal case?
That's the thing.
If anything at all, we need to maybe form a committee that prevent it. We need a committee of prevention, not investigate. What is it that we did not know to be investigated about this? That's the beginning of a joke right there. Continue, brother. Interject here to give you your statement and support. That's the beginning. Yes, it will never even die in the committee. Actually, kalas bada emura sakete. Lade kalam pare. Go ahead.
Well, you see, comrades, we are seeing an investigative team going to be formed, and this is the beginning of the failure of this thing. In Nyakuron in Nyakuron market, in custom market, Jebel, and all the markets within the city, majority of those that are vendors in those markets are not Junubin. Majority are foreigners. And I must say this very clearly. Our few mothers that are having small businesses that they are running in the culture, in all these markets, they are being overtasked. The taxation is hyped. They are suffering. They are not able to even manage rent. The rents within these markets are too high. Few of them that are owning these shops that are benefiting from it, they have a lot of responsibility. Now, if the government is going to compensate these women, these business people of Junubu Sudan, they might not compensate, including the foreigners, and I want to say this very clearly. They must not compensate the foreigners, because majority of the foreigners that are working in that market, they have looted our people, they have squandered over our resources, and majority of these foreigners are combined together with few individuals, and they're joining the businesses. They use the foreigners to run their business. Some of these foreigners are not running their own business, and these foreigners must not be compensated, in my own legitimate view. Our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our uncles that are struggling and are having shops in all these places, including the area that's got banned, they must be compensated, and only them, anybody who's a Junubian, not a foreigner. If at all, there will be something called compensation, which I think it will not exist. My second point is I've seen the governor of Central Equatoria State, Adil Anthony, together with Atong Paul Manyang, the national minister of investment and something. And then I've seen the mayor of Juba, or Juba City. One human being that is not existing in this visit, it is this commissioner of the South Sudan Revenue Authority. Laanu, these guys are the ones that are exploiting our women, our mothers, our sisters, and our brothers who are running businesses to survive. They went there, they assessed the market, and what I've heard from what they say is that the business people should learn to build permanent infrastructure. Where do they get the money from? And that property of custom is the property of the University of Juba. How do you want somebody to build a permanent shop and they do not own the land? They're going to be evicted from there, and then they're going to lose their money. This case has come up and over again, and there seems to be no solution to it. The government should not inform the shopkeepers or the business owners to build permanent structures when the land is not legitimately being made available. That's one point. The second point is that the government is not sympathizing with people, but instead is telling people to build permanent structure. This is out of place. This is a misplaced sympathy. My third point is that the government is supposed to build malls. They're supposed to build malls. If they want, being to have big shops and own businesses, they should build malls in the entire custom, and this mall should be given to a Junubin to rent it in a very less amount that they can afford. At least they will collect their tax, but our mothers are having space for them to run their business. But putting a permanent structure is not even a solution to stopping the fire, because we're even seeing cities that are even burning. But the question is, what the hell is these people called the fire brigade doing in Juba? Because the last time I checked, I've never seen one of them running to quench off the fire, to put off the fire. These water tankers, that the Eritreans and the Ethiopians that run with their water tankers, I've not seen none of them. And even if they have, this is not their business. They are not supposed to be the one running the country. And in this case, the city, to be specific. I feel the pain of our mothers, and I cry when I see them crying. This is very devastating. As of these results, you will see some of them will die of hunger and starvation. Because where will they begin? Whom I have them in when? Kulu hajar al besid al munkangi dete bi barra asre kulu ya haragu. Budato mun kulu harak hajar al besid al munkangi rifu daga kinto mun kulu haragu. They're not only crying, like in yalto mun kaman yalto mun kulu ki kore. Something like this is a matter of national interest. The government, the line ministries, plus Juba City Council. This is under Juba City Council, actually, responsibility. Because it is within the city. These markets are within the city, and this is under the jurisdiction of Juba City Council, plus the governor of the state. They should find a way. They should fight Governor Adel Anthony, the mayor of the city, the national minister. This is under their line ministry. They have to fight tooth and nail to get money. Find out the number of our mothers who are running their businesses in custom, and they must be compensated. Because I've had one information about this, that they say that if we are going to compensate these people, even many other people will join the line and say, even mine also was banned last year, ours were banned 2 years ago, and so forth and so on. This is another way of escaping. They're trying to escape from how to compensate people that have lost their property. We are talking about the recent event. Why would you want to bring stories that other people are going to join and they also wanted to be compensated? The question is, don't you know the numbers of people that are running business in the market? Is Juba City Council not having a record of every stall, every shop, every vendor? Because the last time I checked, many countries have got the vendor numbers. Vendors have been given their awarded numbers in their bag. Number 110, 1005, 1000. You have that apron. You wore that apron when you are a vendor and you have the number. You'll be known, this is vendor number this. It's easy to monitor, because if they have paid tax, because the vendors do not have shops, they move around. They sell to the travelers, especially the big buses and all this, and the eyes, what do you call the taxis, when they're traveling to the countryside. Some of these vendors and hookers, they're supposed to be given numbers, and if they lost their properties, they should be compensated for. Shops have numbers. The last time I checked in Juba, shops have numbers, so you know this shop and this shop and this shop, and you should have the name. Juba City Council, every month they move with a book and the receipt, and they have the name, so they cannot claim that people that are there, they will not know, or the number is going to be increased if they are going to compensate them. This is a total lie. The responsibility of people that will pay our mothers. The governor of Central Equatoria State should take this seriously. The mayor of the city council should take this seriously. But overall, the national minister, which is Atongkwal Manyang, in charge of this, the line ministry, should take this seriously, including this so-called South Sudan Revenue Authority Commission. Because they benefit, they take taxation from our mothers. And now when something like this comes, they are running away. They don't want to be seen. They are hiding. And then tomorrow, when our mothers are back to the street struggling, they will go and squeeze the little money they have. And not only squeezing, they overtax them and they exploit them with too much corruption, come on. This is out of place, and I'm not myself today. This is a matter of national interest, and this is directly affecting our mothers, and there's nothing called 1, 2, 3 we're going to tolerate here. As a man, a mother's crying, shedding tears. They have lost everything on earth. How are you going to feed them now? How are you going to feed them now? They're even going to Christmas. Their children will be asking a lot of questions, leave alone clothes and everything. Even a mere food they're not going to afford at this time. How are you going to answer that question? How are you going to answer that question? And our mothers have begun to say that anybody who have done this, and people who are not seeing us, this is the word coming from the women whose properties have all gone, and their children are crying, and they're also crying. If they open their mouth and say that somebody who have done this will not leave, mark my word, that person is not going to leave. Junubin, I know all of us are listening, and we are up here. Those that your time is late and others that are waking up, and in South Sudan it's a bit late already, it's 2 a.m. All the mothers, if you are related to any of them whose properties are all burned and you have heard of the story, Alekala, try to shift in and help. Try to shift in and help. Lano, the children are not going to have anything to eat. If you have a relative that is running a business in custom and their business is no more, Alekala, try to help. Call them and consult with them and see what can you do. Because if we wait for the committee to be formed and we wait for the investigation to continue, or whatever committee is going to be formed, whether to solve the case or to destroy the case, I want each of us to step in and see if you have a relative, please prepare some sense, not only for the mother, but also for the children. Madit Majak, I appreciate you for opening the space, and I also appreciate you for the time provided to me. I know I've spoken a lot. It's not the way I used to speak. This is out of politics. This is not a political case. In this case, we do not have this party and this party and this party. This is when we as Junubin, we come together. This is when Junubin Kullu from all walks of life, they join hands and think about the matter at hand. This is not a matter of political party. This is not a matter of these have done this, these have not done well. These are the people that are now affected directly. And I would urge all of us to join hands. It's just because we do not know how to arrange this, we would have raised some fund, all of us in this clubhouse. We would have raised some fund and see if there's a committee that has been formed, composed of these women, and to be able to see how best we can, even if you're sending in your $10, it's not really bad. You're not throwing it to the water. You're giving it to a human being, to a mother who is going to help a child. I'm going to stop here, but let's think about this. At the end of the day, we are all Genovian. And what affects our mothers affects us, and it affects our entire country. My prayers are with the mothers and with their children all together. May God be with them and may God see them through difficult life. I will stop here, Madit, and I yield back the mic to you.
Thank you, Dr. Twananya. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Our prayers and thought and heart are with them. It's really, you see the picture, pain they are going through, tears that shed. It's really heartbreaking. Before I close down the studio, for those of you in Clubhouse, you guys can continue with the discussion. Joseph and Twananya and while you guys continue with the room, so for discussion, let the people in the room come up if they discuss. So you guys continue. I will hand over the room to you guys. I'm going to take over and then go to take a nap. It's getting late, and I will close down the studio. So thank you guys. I appreciate for you guys. So continue with the discussion. Joseph, you can take over, moderate the room. Thanks. Okay. For those of you,
thank you, Madit. Thank you, Bondi Danyak.
but for those of you in Clubhouse, so in the studio with me, thank you really to the time that closed down the room. Thank you for staying with me. It's late there in Juba. It's really heartbreaking. Before I close up, this is we about to wrap up this discussion on this latest the first disasters that South Sudan are. It's not only an incident it's alone. It has been multiple incident about the fire. So the trader deserve better than this. Our mothers deserve better than this. The markets need a proper plan from the government, from the local authorities, and our city the city mayor, city council must prioritize, and the national government must prioritize the life of human beings. Okay. We should not be playing the life, for innocent life like this, and also the livelihood of our citizens. The government needs to do better than that. The time for talk without action has passed, Junubin. So this is the time of talk has passed. As you guys can see me, I put out the announcement last couple of weeks or last month that I'm not going to be active, talk about the issues of South Sudan. I want to move away, but when something like this, it will drag me back to talk. And this is the reason why I come here, to see the country is failing. Our citizens are dying, suffering. Disaster like this coming up. These people like us who have a heart to see come out, we have to talk. The silent will not achieve anything, will not change anything. So we call out the government. All of these committee been formed, all talk is not. When you see a government of South Sudan to put their action plan, leave all of this talk and other things. South Sudan is a rich country, have oil. Where are the money going? Corruption. All of this money they're going to your bank somewhere. And you leave your own citizen vulnerable like this. It is very, very sad, you know. It is. It is a time for the government to rebuild. Not only the bearing market, road, hospital, the school, infrastructure. The government need to build this. But all the system of the government need to do that job. So thank you so much for joining us for this talk show. I am your host, Madit Majak. You stay with Lake State Media, or Lake State. I mean, it's not a media no more. Lake State. We are Lake Media now in South Sudan Media. So thank you for joining. We will keep you updated whenever we get information regarding what all of this latest news in South Sudan and everything. Thank you all for being part of this media platform. We are here to bring accurate information to all of you. I know our people don't like to hear the truth. But when we people speak for the truth, that will shape our country forward. When we held our leaders accountable for everything that is going on in the country, that is what we want. Silent for citizens. You don't need to be silent. Don't die as silent. You speak out. Like what Santo did. Okay? You will not be talking when you die. They will not hear you if you are silent. It's a time for you to talk. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful night and wonderful morning, you guys. God bless you. May God bless those who lost their property. Thank you. Bye.